Hey, so while I'm in the mindset to be on camera, I want to do a really quick book review of A City Inside by Tillie Walden. In my last video, I pulled that out of my backpack and I was like, oh, okay, I'll read it after I finish filming. And then I did. And I quite literally cried, which was fun. Fun fact, next to my bed, I keep this guy. It's quite literally a beer bottle with toilet paper around it. Toilet paper. Because I'm too cheap to buy tissues. And when I inevitably am a Cancer and cry, it's just right there for me. And it's really convenient when reading this book because it destroyed my life. Again, Tillie Walden is definitely one of my favorite cartoonists. She's another lesbian cartoonist. I think she's great. She makes me cry a lot. I emailed her once and was like, hey, so like I'm another cartoonist and I just moved back to New Jersey and like I'm a really big fan of your work and all this other stuff, and like I got an email back that was just like, oh well, like good luck with that, I hope it goes well, and I just like cried a little bit. And it was great. But I'm pretty sure the premise of this book, it's very short. It's like only about, what? There's not page numbers in here. What am I doing? It's very short. It's mostly pictures and not a whole lot of words. But it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Once again, this might be one of those books that I'm not particularly great at critiquing because I really don't have a whole lot of complaints at all. Because the formatting is beautiful, the style is beautiful, all the illustrations look very full and very developed, you know, so it's not just like, there's not like unnecessary dark space or unnecessary light space. It's all pretty balanced. The character designs are very simple, but they're very beautiful, they're fluid. I'd say this book covers the main character's life from like when they were a kid to when they're like a mid-adult, and literally shows them at one point as like an older person being like, oh, one day you're gonna realize that things are worth it, but right now like you're just trying to figure it out, which I thought was really gorgeous. I think I have so many favorite illustrations. Like I love every single illustration that the love interest in this book appears in, because she's I'm pretty sure she's supposed to be Asian and she's just like beautiful. It's just very, I love the way that lesbians draw other lesbians. I think it's my favorite thing possibly ever, just period. Like, and it's so particular and so like, I don't know, I've never seen something that looks more like the way I see things. Not saying like, oh well, like I'm a developed cartoonist too. Like, no, my stuff is very different, and it's definitely, the point of it is not necessarily even the quality of the art. Like, and I know that, like, I sacrifice a lot of quality for storytelling purposes and for like, you know, getting things out on time and all this other stuff, but like, this is just so developed, and the story and the dialogue balance each other out to the point where it's like, it's just so simple. Like, I'm gonna read an excerpt from this, the part that made me cry, and hopefully I won't cry again on camera, but we'll see. I'm gonna start a little bit towards, I could honestly just read this whole thing, but I'm not going to do it because we're 4 minutes in, and I guess this isn't supposed to be a read aloud. This is supposed to be just a little review. And it's really hard to know where to start with reading this bit because I feel like it all feeds into itself. So it's like you leave one thing out and then it's, well, I'm gonna start here. You left when you were 15, trying to escape those southern ghosts. This guy. You were too afraid to live in the city, although you knew that's what you were supposed to want. All you really wanted was quiet, so you decided the sky would be better, and began to live there. Look at how beautiful and developed these illustrations are. Ooh. I'd love to be like, oh, I want to draw like that one day, but it's like, I'm gonna be really honest. I feel like, unless it's cover art, I'm never gonna go this hard again on something because I love shorthanding everything like a fool. You got a cat and you named her Nancy. Nancy was an excellent cat. In the evenings, you'd write stories about places you wanted to go but didn't exist yet. Look at these varying textures. Except there's places for your eyes to rest so you don't get tired and you're not like, why are there so many textures? It's just balanced. Fucks me up. Fuck me up, Tillie Walden. Fuck me up. This is the part that made me cry. Of course. Then one day you met her. She was beautiful, wasn't she? You never understood what she saw in you. She didn't leave your side, and that was enough. So, like, just to, like, give you the premise of everything that's going on, it's like this girl riding by on a bike, and she is beautiful. I can't handle it. I don't know. I think I just got really emotional because things are so weird now with me and, like, feelings and I don't know. I like put on a pretty good show and I'm like, oh, I love girls. Oh, I love it. I love dating. But at the same time, I'm like so sad about so many things in a way that I'm not used to, in a way that like it has never been lasting like this, that like I'm worried that I'll never date again. And that sounds really dramatic. And it's like, oh, calm down, you're 21, you'll be fine. And it's like, you say that, but I'm still traumatized over things that happened literally before I even started forming memories. So like, and it just goes on to be like, things were okay and then they weren't. Oh yeah, and it's the continuation of this. You gave up the sky for her. You can no longer watch the clouds and planets over breakfast. You find yourself looking out the same window every day. I know, it doesn't feel right. You don't want this kind of life, but you want her. And then it's just, the dialogue is so simple, but it's so beautiful. And it hits the mark. And it goes really well with the illustrations. And I keep going on about balance. And just, that's what this whole thing is. Just a really gorgeous, like, composition, essentially. And I think my favorite things, my favorite pieces of art or whatever, are just, like, a lot of weight and composition for me. Like, I love how everything comes together. Like, it doesn't even necessarily, like a comic book could literally just be, like, stick figures. But if the story balances out with the stick figures, then I'll be like, I will read it. It'll be one of my favorite things. Like, unless you're like Alison Bechdel or whatever, and you can just do everything because you're like, Jesus, whatever, do you. I love you. But like, yeah. So I highly recommend A City Inside by Tillie Walden, along with her other works, such as I Love This Part and wait for it, Spinning. And that's it. It just, have fun crying, reading through this whole thing, and having a little existential crisis, and seeing all the parts in your life that really hurt you reflected back at you, and then somehow magically, not resolved, like, perfectly, but, like, just explored. Like, I'm just gonna lose it. It's fine. Yeah, great book. Definitely read it. If you have read it, let me know what you think. If you want to read it, let me know. And if you have any recommendations for me, yeah, let me know. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.